What's going on, everybody? This is Chris Martinez from Dynamic Duo Training.
And this is Eric Martinez.
Alright, so we have another educational video for you guys. And this video, it's going to consist of how to count your macros on vacation, okay? So before we get started on some of the tips and steps we're going to give you guys, we're going to highly recommend, if you're like a competitor or anything like that, that you shouldn't be on vacation, in our opinions, if you're in prep, okay? Because A, you're going to be miserable because you're not going to be able to, experience and indulge in some of the stuff that comes with the vacation. And B, it's just probably one of the things that you shouldn't be doing because you should be focusing on other things besides a vacation, okay? But besides that, if you're not in prep or anything like that, and you're still wanting to be very cautious of your body image, your macro intake, your diet, what have you, okay? So this is for those people.
Okay, so before we get into the actual nitty-gritty of the educational part where we're going to actually give you guys tips, we're just going to go over some bullet points on as to what certain things that we figured out that people might be focusing on when it comes to going on vacation. So some of the questions that arise generally could be, how am I going to cook on my vacation? Is there going to be a microwave? Is there going to be some sort of cooking utilities to cook the food? Is there going to be a gym? Stuff like that, those are just basic questions, but I'm sure there's other questions that do arise, but those are just some really general ones. So just to keep in mind, when those, you just do your research, before even having to even plan for this, So then when these questions do arise, it's already going to be taken care of.
Alright, so next, plan ahead before vacation starts, okay? We can't, advocate and stress, enough that you guys need to plan ahead when it comes to stuff, when you're tracking your macros and you're being serious about this type of stuff, okay? Planning is key. It's going to save you in everything you guys do, okay? Same thing when you go on a vacation. Plan ahead, okay? So, before your vacation even starts, you know your destination where you're going. You most likely know where you're staying, what hotel and resort, right? So, the whole factor of needing a gym, right? Call that resort beforehand and ask them, if they can accommodate you anyway with the gym. Look at the pictures, see what kind of equipment they have, and if it's not a gym that's suitable for you, then there has to be a gym anywhere from like 10 to 15 miles away from the resort that you guys can get like a guest pass or a trial pass, for about 5 days or 7 days, whatever, how long you are on vacation, okay? As far as food, okay, so let's talk about getting the kitchen first, okay? If you go on vacation, and if you can afford it, we highly recommend you get a kitchenette, okay? Because a kitchenette is going to have basically a mini kitchen inside of your guys' hotel room. It's going to have cooking utensils, a stove, a microwave, a refrigerator, okay? So you can go down to a store, a local grocery store, and go grocery shopping, right? You can even bring your food scale with you on the plane and even weigh your food out. You guys can cook your own meals out right there in the room, and you guys are going to be able to hit your numbers a lot easily right there because you guys are going to have the kitchenette and access to everything else you need for your foods and your macros, okay? Okay, so food tracker. You guys have so many, so much access these days to food tracking with, all the online applications and, macro counting applications these days on your phones, so that shouldn't be a problem, okay? If that is a problem, then you can write everything down and do it by hand. You can put it on an Excel sheet. There's really no excuse to not be able to track your food, okay?
And another thing that Chris missed is, what most hotels do is, you can pay a small fee for them to put like a little fridge inside your guys' room if they don't have a kitchenette.
Or a microwave.
Yeah, exactly. So, just, you don't have to go the extra little mile and, spend a little more, but it's so worth it at the end of the day. So the next bullet point we're going to be talking about is restaurant tips. This one's huge because, when you're on vacation, isn't that one of the best things to do is actually go to different restaurants and try different foods? Depending if, where you're at or where you're traveling to. Let's say I'm in like Spain or Italy, it's like, shoot, I'm going to want to go to different restaurants and try their foods. But let's just think about it beforehand. Do your homework, like we said before. So research the exact restaurant that you're going to be going to, okay? Make sure, most restaurants should have everything online, as far as their entrees. Some even might have the macros and calories. So I mean, that's a plus. But just do your research before, and when you order a meal, tell them not to saute the veggies. Tell them not to cook it in any like crazy oils. Just tell them to keep it basic. And one little example that I'll use is we went out to breakfast for my mom's birthday last weekend, and it was just like just a little breakfast place. And what I did was I just ordered an omelet. I was very specific with the waitress. I told her how many eggs I want, how many yolks I want. And one thing though that might be really difficult is the cheese portion. So you're not going to really know how much cheese they're going to put in there. It's not like they're going to get like a measuring thing or an actual scale and weigh it out for you. So they might just grab a handful and just throw it in something. So I mean, little tips like that. But
they're going to spit in your food too for asking.
Yeah. But another tip too. So don't be afraid to bring a scale with you. Okay. Ladies, especially, you guys have purses with you. It's the best thing. I always sneak it into my girlfriend's purse, and I mean, she doesn't mind it. So, just little tips like that. So don't be afraid to just bring out a scale. Who cares what people think? So keep those little tips in mind when you're going to a restaurant, and that should help you out.
Yeah. Okay, so next, meal frequency. Okay, so let's say, for example, you're eating 5 or 6 meals a day, okay? Normally. So you go on vacation and, obviously if you're eating 5 or 6 meals, you're eating probably anywhere from 4 to 5 hours, maybe even 3 hours, okay? So when you go on vacation and you have to eat those 5 or 6 meals, you're going to fret every time, throughout the day, oh, I got to eat right now, I got to get this meal in, I got to get the other meal in, I got to hit 5 or 6 meals, okay? So cut your meal frequency down, okay? If you eat 6 meals, cut it down to 4. If you eat 5 meals, cut it down to 3 or 4. Just cut it down so that you're going to have longer gaps throughout the day and not have to worry about eating, so frequently. And you're going to have most likely bigger portions, so it's going to fill you up more, and your satiety levels are going to be higher too. So with meal frequency, just kind of cut it off a little bit so you guys don't have to sit there and worry about all day about eating, okay, and hitting your meals.
So you can actually enjoy the day.
Yeah, exactly. You're on vacation, remember?
So, okay, next bullet point, everything in moderation. Okay, just like everything else when you're not on vacation, just keep it in moderation. So, just because you're on vacation doesn't mean, it's time to go binge eat. It's a good reason to indulge in some different things, but at the end of the day, keep it in moderation. Focus on what you need to get in, and focus on just the daily outcome, okay? Because you got to think about the bigger picture from that vacation. Once those 7 days or 2 weeks are up from vacation, it's back to reality. No matter what, it's always back to reality. You have to face reality. So it's not going to be worth binging for a week or two, when you have to face reality, because then it's going to be that much more difficult to transition back into reality. Right. So everything in moderation, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's vacation, and have a good time and indulge a little bit. Don't be afraid to do it.
Yeah, and remember, you guys can always set yourselves back about, 5, even maybe like 6, 7 pounds. I mean, depending on how much you eat,
right,
or binge, or drink. I mean, alcohol has so many calories in there. People don't understand. It's not a free-for-all with alcohol.
Right, and especially with, the whole macro counting thing. I mean, it's flexible dieting. So, I mean, it should be very, very easy to, fit things into your daily macros. Mm-hmm. So don't be afraid to do it.
If you go over a little bit, who cares, man?
Who cares?
You're on vacation, just don't sit there and go over too much, okay?
You're not going to wake up fat.
Yeah. And the last one, take responsibility and have fun, okay? So take responsibility, be accountable for your macros, your diet that you're still on, your workouts, your health, okay? You're on vacation. I mean, you're supposed to have a really good time. You're going to have a really good time still, but still be accountable, still be responsible for your goals and everything else that comes with it, okay? Anything else?
Yeah, like I said, just keep it in moderation, and that's one of the big things just to really keep in mind when on vacation, just everything in moderation. Have a few beers, have some good wine, do a couple body shots, whatever you're into. So just have a good time and don't stress about it,
And have a couple of drinks for us since we're in prep right now, okay? Yeah, but with that said, if you guys ever want to invite us on a vacation, I mean, you know, just shoot us an email. We're more than willing to go on a free vacation, you know,
Absolutely.
on your guys' expense. I'm just kidding. But
all inclusive.
yeah. But that's pretty much it. Hopefully this video helps you guys out. Check out our other videos. Visit us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Peace, guys.